Hi everyone, Jane here. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Today I thought I would use the Dina Wakley ledger journal. This is a reproduction of a ledger that Dina Wakley found, and she had it reproduced for us to be able to use on mixed media paper. So I'm giving you a quick flip through of what I've done in mine so far. It's quite a large journal, and it is one that I mostly use for mixed media and collage. I didn't intend it to be that way, but it's just worked out that way. So today I really wanted to focus on creating a background, and I wanted to use my distress inks and some spray inks and really sort of make a quite a grungy but pretty background using the idea of snowflakes as we're moving into winter in the UK. Not that we really get snow where I live, but it's always a nice idea and it always looks pretty. So I'm starting off with using this snowflake stencil. I use a few different snowflake stencils. I won't link or list exactly what they are because I'm not sure. And I'm using it with this Glassy gel. It's a gel medium in that tube. It's Maimeri Acrilico, and I've had it, I think I must have had it for over 10 years, but because of the way the bottle is, it's still, you know, just as good as it was. A little bit crept under the stencil, but it was fine. It dries totally clear, and I did have to leave it quite a long time because I had put it quite thick. Now I'm going in with some distress inks, and I got out a collection of different blues. The ones I actually used in the end were Stormy Sky, Broken China, Mermaid, Lagoon and Uncharted Mariner. And I wanted a different sort of tones of blue. So to start with, I'm just going over with a blending sponge where that gel medium was, because the gel is like a clear plasticky feel, and that will resist the ink. This ink is just the normal distress ink, so it's water reactive, and if it does go on the doesn't resist off the gel, it could easily be wiped off. As it is, it just resisted it. So I'm just going around to make sure that I put some colour, the darker and slightly lighter, where that gel medium is. Now sometimes I use little stencil brushes. This time I went in with the foams because I knew that I wanted to put quite a large area of colour down. And when you're using wanting a larger area, the blending foams and the blending sponges are ideal for this, but you can use whatever you like to apply your products. Some people prefer using just a general sponge. Some people prefer using the brushes. Some people prefer using the blending foams. You know, it's totally up to you. You can get all sorts of different tools to apply your inks with these days. Now I'm going in with this stencil. This is more of a mask because it's the negative part of the stencil that you're actually inking through, and I'm just using, again, just a different shade of blue. I have noticed in the distress product line that there are quite a lot of blues. It seems to be the one sort of colour that has a lot of different shades, so there really is something for everybody. But I was really looking at blues that would stand out, but also blues that were different from each other so that they would contrast. And then finally, I've got this other stencil, which I use to really pick out individual snowflakes a lot more. So I'm going in with the darkest of my blues, which is the Uncharted Mariner, and I'm just picking out the odd snowflake to really sort of pop against that background. And this is the thing with creating backgrounds. I wanted that contrast in value, that light and that dark, so that you really could, your eyes got something to rest upon as it looks around the page. Now here you'll see I went over the edge of the stencil and I just decided to blend it into the background, and in a bit you'll see I'll go back and I'll add some more snowflakes over the top. once my background was complete, I was thinking about what I wanted to add on next, and I did think about adding some stamping, but in the end I thought I'd do something that I don't often do in these pieces, which is use some die cuts. So I've used this set from Pretty Gets Gritty, which is called Sparkle and Shine. I'll list it along with everything else in the description box. And I'm using a couple of sprays, Silver Dollar and White Frost from HunkyDory, just to colour them very, very quickly. So I cut out this little girl from the Maremi Winter Stories book and a sentiment from there as well. And now I'm just going in with my Cosmic Shimmer Glue and placing everything where I want. I wanted to keep this spread fairly simple. So this is all I then did. And then just off screen at the end, I did add a tiny bit of pen just to highlight where the sentiment was, because it was quite small, but I didn't want the sentiment really to be the most prominent feature on the page. I wanted it really to be about the background. So I will just go through here, and that's how I will finish off the page. So thank you ever so much for watching. Please do watch right through to the end. If you have enjoyed this video, do please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you could do that as well. And at the end, you'll see a list of my lovely super supporters. So a big extra shout out to those. And we do also now on YouTube have a hype button for some smaller creators. So if you do see that button and you get a moment to click it, that really helps out small creators. It doesn't cost you anything. And I think you get 3 hypes a week. And it just gives small creators some points, and the more points you get, I was just going to say the more prizes you get. You don't get prizes. You get promoted more on YouTube, so your channel gets seen more widely. So thank you ever so much, and until the next time, bye-bye.